All right, so we're going to be analyzing and hopefully taking live trade on EURUSD, GBPUSD, and Go. So let's start with EURUSD. First of all, I switch to the daily time frame, and you see what I've already done here. I've marked my previous day's low and my previous day's high as well. So these are important points for me to mark, right? So let's check out the 4 hours. And also on the daily, what I can see right here is that prices are attempting to break a support right here. So there's a support right here that has pushed price up before. Recently, the support pushed price down. That's when price first traded here. Then the support price broke it, gave us a retest, and then pushed to the upside. You can see how price broke this support right here. First candle, second candle at the top. The first candle was very bullish, and then the second candle remained at the top right there to confirm that it was a break before we got this retracement or a retest, and then price started pulling to the upside. But now, look at what's happened. Price is trading right here, attempting to break this support right now, because it was acting as resistance before and then it added as support to push price up. So now it is support price, it pushed price up. Now price wants to break to the downside. Price breaks the first time. And now you know what I said about two candles being above a particular point as a break, right? Now something funny is happening right here. It might be a break really, or it might just be to confuse traders, but then price actually does this sometimes, right? So this is what happened. Price broke to the downside on Friday. And then Monday, price traded back into the support zone, right? And now I might not be calling this a break because I need the support. If it wants to be a very clear break, it should be very, very clear for us to recognize, right? Price broke to the downside and now it's trading back up. I need two candles showing me that it's a clear break. If maybe this other candle closed at this bottom right here, I would have said, okay, yeah, this is a break. Then I'll be waiting for a retest and a displacement to the downside, just like it did right here. You can see the first break and then the second candle remained at the top. Right, so price then traded down here gradually before impulsing to the upside again. Now that's what I can get from the 4 hours. From the daily, it can be a break. It might just be that price is trying to fake out some traders, right? So now let's switch to the 4 hours. Very soon I'll tell you why this right here is marked, right? But before then, let's switch to the 1 hour first. We'll come back to the 4 hours again. So on the 1 hour, I noticed that this point is a very important point in price because when price was trading up, it was acting as a resistance. You can see a lot of touches and it was checking to the downside. When price eventually broke it, gave us a retest. Sorry about that. When price eventually broke it, give us a retest and then impulse to the upside, right? You can see that it's kind of looking like a clear break. I move it down a little bit. Yeah, looking like a clear break. Price broke it to the upside, give us a retest and then impulse to the upside again. Now, let's say price wants to give us a retest of this point before going up. It has come all the way down here, came all the way down to this point, and now it's rejecting to the upside. You can see the impulsive move to the upside. Right, price is impulsive to the, which means it's already rejecting this support right here. It's already rejecting it to the upside. So let's switch back to the 4 hours. Now on the 4 hours, I can see that after price broke that support of the 1 hour to the upside, it actually had a fair value gap right here. Now you can see how price is reacting to that fair value gap. Price traded into that fair value gap. It's not breaking it. It came all the way to this low, went back up to close, came all the way to this low, the fair value gap, then went back up to close. It's possible that price is not going to continue coming down for this fair value gap anymore because of this impulse it has pushed to the upside. And before even impulsing to the upside, it swept liquidity from this low because all this movement to this low was obviously to trick traders that's going to continue going lower. The price came all the way to this low, then impulsed back to the upside to close. So I'm thinking that price is going to continue going higher on EURUSD. On the daily candle, this actually supports our claim. Sorry, on the 1 hour candle, this actually supports our claim. We have a structure right here, although I cannot really call this a resistance right here, but then it's a very important point in price because after price broke into this zone, let me extend this again. After price broke into this zone, it was resisting this point. It resisted, it went all the way to this up, it pushed down, price broke it and then came back into it, which means price is struggling to break it, right? Even when price was going down, it traded all the way to this high to retest this point before breaking down again, before sweeping the liquidity. Now, price has impulsed to the upside to break. I'm expecting price to give us a retest of this point before pulling to the upside right here. Right, price should give us a retest because this is what price has broken right now. But if that doesn't happen, price continues going to the upside. We might just look for a reversal pattern and trade all the way to this low. Because what can possibly be our target is this opposite liquidity right here. Because if maybe we are trading, we are retesting this point that price just broke. If we want to target anywhere, it could be this previous day's high or this liquidity at this high right here. But if price keeps trading to the upside, it might just be that price wants to come back down again to test this point because after break, price should give us a retest. So let's not really waste time on EURUSD. I'm not really seeing anything that's going to make me enter for a position right now. Is it that price comes down here to give us a retest or price continue going to the upside? Okay, so let's check out GBPUSD before we check out gold. And see right here, it's the same thing that's happening on what's it called? GBPUSD. We have a support that is not being broken, right? This is right here. Price is not breaking that support. Price, although price impulsed to the downside, you can see how price traded back up. It didn't break the support, so price hasn't broken the support yet. And now what I did was I marked the high and the low of the previous day, important points in price that I must take note of. I don't really do this, but I just started doing it recently. It's added to my trading style. So let's switch to the 4 hours. We already know from the daily that price is struggling to break, right? So switch to the 4 hours. What we can see right here is okay, one thing we can see is that if we are swing traders, we should already be in a trade already because if you check right now, this is a swing low and this is a swing high. So if we can mark from this swing low to this swing high, and also I edited my Fibonacci, so a lot of you guys were requesting I do that. So this is it. Price has already broken structure to the upside and are giving us a retest of this golden zone in Fibonacci, and now it's going to the upside. So which means that we should have entered this trade already if we were swing traders, but I'm not a swing trader. I don't enter this trade very early. I've been looking at it. I just want confirmation that it's going to continue going to the upside. So one confirmation is that price has broken to the upside, giving us a retest of the good zone and it's impulsing to the upside. So the next target is possibly this liquidity at this high right here, this top liquidity right here. So we should be looking for a buy opportunity. If I switch to the 1 hour, let's see. Now you can see this impulse to the upside right here. You can see this impulsive move to the upside. Price has swept this sell side liquidity right here because this is a swing low. The sell side liquidity resting below here. Price swept this sell side liquidity and then impulse to the upside to break, right? Price impulse to the upside after sweeping sell side. And this is a bullish engulfing and it's a sign to enter the market for a buy, right? It's a sign to enter for a buy. So now I'm looking at where next price is going to give us a retest to because one thing I don't like that price is currently doing right now is moving to the upside before going down to give us a retest, right? It's doing the same thing on EURUSD. I'm expecting price to give us a retest of this point before going to the upside, but then it's already moving to the upside, taking liquidity from the upside already, right? So it might be that price has taken out this liquidity already and it might just continue distributing to the downside. But let's trust our price action right here. This impulsive candles is what I'm putting my hopes on, that price is going to be going to the upside. The same thing on GBPUSD. We've already said that price has broken to the upside. Why not give us a retest of this point? Because this is where I'm expecting price to retest into at least before going to the upside. But now price is already pushing to the upside to take our liquidity, and that cannot be good. It might be just be that price wants to just start going to the downside after taking liquidity. Because if price takes liquidity from a particular point, it's just going to continue going to the other direction. So let's see the 50 minutes. Right. So here's what I'm looking at. We have the resistance at this top that price just broke, and then price has what? The support at this bottom, and also close to this support we have a fair value gap. Then the fair value gap was inverted, so which means we have a fair value gap inversion. So if we are meant to be looking for a buy, it should be from this point right here to target at least the opposite liquidity at the top. So, but then that's for that. I'm not letting anything make sense right now. I'm just still gonna relax. I'll still leave my options open. But then this is gold right now. Same thing, highs and lows in gold have been marked already. But then for gold, I've seen that we've already broken the support we are even looking at. We've broken the support and price has given us a retest, pushed to the downside. It's failed to continue going lower. Then it broke to the upside again, which is a sign that price, after giving us a retest, it might want to come back up for this liquidity at this top right here, or maybe this other block right here, because it has given us a retest of this resistance, or this resistance that's, yeah, of this support that is meant to turn resistance and push price down. It tried to push down, it failed to continue going down. Then it impulsed to the upside on Friday, giving us a bullish engulfing. And now what I'm expecting is a retest to the downside and a buy to the upside. So this is going to look more like a swing trade, but I don't swing trade. I'm just going to look for a day trading opportunity. So if I switch to the 4 hours, if I switch to 4 hours, we have a swing low, we have a swing high. So if I plot my Fibonacci retracement, you'll see something. You can see that price is reacting from the golden zone of the Fibonacci. That's why it's pushing to the upside, right? Price is reacting from the Fibonacci golden zone. And this is our swing low right here. The swing low has not been broken. Price traded, after an impulse, price is going to correct and then impulse again to the upside. So this is the correction where price tapped into the golden zone first, try to push, and then the next thing, price came all the way to this low to take our liquidity from this low right here, and then went back to the upside. Although price came all the way here, then rejected to the downside. I still feel like price is going to continue going higher, right? Because this liquidity at this top has not been taken out yet. If this liquidity has been taken out, then I would say price is going to continue going lower. But then this liquidity has not been taken out yet. So I still expect price to be going to the upside. So if I switch to the 1 hour, you can see the rejection from this high right here. Price just came all the way to this point and then rejected back here to close. So what I'm looking for is price probably giving us a retest of this black line. If that's possible, then we can enter for a buy, because this is like another block, right? This is it. After price was rejected, you can see there's a bit of an hesitation for price. Price was hesitating to come below this point, right? So this is the candle that actually came down here, came all the way to this low to take our liquidity from this point right here before distributing to the upside right here, and then price started coming all the way to this high. Although price rejected that point, but the reason why I'm still saying this rejection is valid is that we still have liquidity at this high that has not been taken out yet. So I'm expecting price to give us a retest of this black line so that we can buy to the upside. That's what I'm looking at on on gold, right? So if I switch to 15, if there's even a possibility of price coming all the way to that low. Now this is what I'm being faced with right now. Price struggling to continue going lower, taking out that liquidity, breaking back to the upside, impulsing, coming down. Like this retest, I don't know if that's going to happen ever, but let's look at it. On EURUSD, 61 hour. Remember, we are looking for buy on EURUSD at GBPUSD. So if I switch to the 15, it should be something like a retracement to the downside if that's even possible. So if price can probably give us a retest into this point, we should be looking for a buy opportunity to target this previous day's high, or no, this target is very, very close, because where we are meant to be, from what I'm looking at right now, if we are meant to be targeting this opposite liquidity or this previous day's high, then the entry is very, very far from target. If probably we are looking to enter from here, sorry, we're most likely going to even be changing perspective for the day because it's just a literary concept, I know, right? So let's say, for instance, our target is this high right here. You know, see, it's the entry is kind of far from the targets. Looking at it right here, except probably I'm meant to be targeting something higher, which I don't know. So then let's see, price is still kind of behaving choppy right now. If price goes all the way to this high, then we are most likely going to be looking for a sell to the downside. The same thing on GU. Like I was saying, I was meant to be looking for a buy from this point on GU because this is the fair value gap that was inverted. Target is meant to be this previous day's high or this opposite liquidity right here. This looks like a very decent position to enter with, let's say, stop loss, let's say 10 pips stop loss. Now, this is what we are being faced with. A possible entry point, which is the fair value gap, a stop loss, which is kind of close to this opposite liquidity because we've broken to the upside, and then a target, which is the opposite liquidity at the top because we've done our analysis and we're meant to be taking it back. But then if price continues going to the upside, taking out this liquidity, we might be selling from the upside, targeting this downside right here, right? Because price cannot go to our target, then come all the way down to trigger us and come back to our target again. Same thing cannot happen in EURUSD. Price going all the way to the target, coming back down to trigger us in the no. If it goes all the way to this target, it's most likely going to trigger us in for a sell to the opposite direction. Same thing on gold. So if price can come down here, trigger us in, then we can take a buy to the upside. Let's switch it to 5 minutes. Let's see if it's going to even make sense. Now, let me remind you the reason why I'm entering a buy on gold. If you look at this on the 1 hour, although it still doesn't make sense because of this big rejection we got to the downside right here, it's because, okay, it's because of this liquidity sweep of this swing low, price swept this liquidity and then impulse to the upside. This impulse right here is an engulfing candle, which is actually an entry point for us to enter for a buy to target at least this opposite liquidity or this opposite liquidity right here. But then the next candle that should have closed, although it did well by closing at this top and not inside here, but then this huge upward movement and this rejection to the downside is what I'm concerned about. And now I'm saying price should come all the way to this low right here to trigger us in for a buy to continue going higher, but that's not happening. I feel like that's the reverse is going to happen right now. Because first of all, this rejection to the downside. Secondly, price is only meant to just give us a retest of this point and then continue going lower. Because this rejection is too huge. So something is happening. Everything is now beginning to make sense. We are meant to be. Initially, I was looking for a sell on all three of these pairs, but now this 1 hour candle rejection is not trying to make sense to me right now. Because first of all, this rejection is too huge for us to still consider buying right now. And that's why we're not getting that retest yet, because we are not meant to be going up. Because if we're meant to be going up, price should have given us that retest and then it starts going up to the upside. But now it seems to be rejecting this point right here. So we're most likely going to be looking for a sell on all these pairs. Because if you check it, like I said, price cannot go to your target and then come back down to give you your entry and still go to your target again. So if price gets up until this previous day's high, I'm going to start selling because first of all, we have liquidity above here, and this previous day's high is a very important point in price, which is meant to act as resistance to push price down. And also we have another block right here on the previous day's high, 1 hour order block. So we have liquidity, 1 hour order block, the same thing on the previous day's high. So that is most likely going to even be an entry point for us to be targeting the opposite direction to the downside, at least for a short trade. Yeah, the only thing I'm bothered about is the liquidity at which price is using to push to that direction, right? So that's the only thing I'm bothered about right now. But we can have a very tight stop loss right here. Let's say 8 pip stop loss. Just relax. I'm not calling the trading yet. I'm just looking at it first of all. Same thing is happening on GBPUSD. Relax, I'm not calling in this trade yet. I want to check how price reacts to this particular point. If price can reject to close below right here, we are going to most likely look for an entry on the 15th. Can see price now coming to take out this previous days. It has already gone above the previous days high, and I'm heading for this liquidity right here. So price is going to take out this liquidity right here. Same thing on GBPUSD. Might not take out that liquidity, but it might get to this previous days high. So I switch to 15 minutes. We now have a new 15 minutes candle. Like I was saying, the reason why we didn't get any retest, or the reason why we are not in any trade right now, and we're just testing this, is because price broke this resistance right here. You can see this impulsive move to the upside. Price broke this resistance and it's meant to retest to act as support to push to the upside, but then we didn't get any retest to the upside, and that's how I trade break retest, right? So the same thing on EURUSD. We broke this point to the upside. That's this structure right here. We didn't get any retest before price is doing all this movement to the upside. That's why we are not in any trade yet. So this is not even a trade we are in right now. So let's just relax and chill. Let's see that over gold. Gold is still hesitating if it's going to continue going to the upside. Still deciding yet, it doesn't even know. So So, like I said, I taught you guys low probability order block. This red candle right here is a low probability order block in the midst of all these green candles right here. So we have a double bottom. Price failed to give us a retest of this double bottom before going to the upside. But then price has broken this swing high right here. It is leaving a fair value gap right here. It has a low probability order block right here. And this green candle right here can act as a breaker to this fair value gap, can act as a breaker block. And you can see that there are a lot of entry for a buy right here. There are a lot of opportunities for a buy right here. And also if you switch to the 1 hour time frame, we are already meant to be looking for a buy. You understand? So switch to EU, same thing like I was saying, same thing. On the swing high, that the previous day's high we just broke, we have this line right here representing the previous day's high. We have a fair value gap around this point. At the same time, we also break this swing high right here, closing above it aggressively. So we might be looking for a retest into this fair value gap right here, and then price continues going to the upside. That's what I'm seeing right now in EURUSD because we have this fair value gap, we have this swing high we just broke. We have this previous this high we just broke. We've broken so many major important points in price. So upward movement is what we are focusing on right now. Same thing on gold. Like I said on gold, the reason why first of all, we would have taken a buy on gold because gold own was very clear. This is the candle that swept this sell side liquidity before this distribution to the upside. And now after this confirmation, we need price to get to this other block before pushing to the upside. We didn't get that. It's like price is not it doesn't want to trigger any of our entries. If we had gotten to this other block, that's this black line right here, I would have entered for a buy already and would have been in this trade already because we haven't gotten to this previous liquidity or this opposite liquidity at this top. We would have been in this trade already. But then price didn't give us this entry to this other block right here. Now in the 15, as the price is now looking like it's broken to the upside. So if price can close at this top, a retest of this point is going to be what we are going to use as our entry because this was the resistance that was pushing price down, and now price seems to have broken this resistance. Price, if this candle can close at this top and not back inside here, it's going to be a valid break, and price is going to give us a retest of this golden point right here, which is meant to act as support to push price to the upside. And also, if you check it properly, it's going to even look like price is giving us a retest back up into this trend line right here to continue the movement to the upside. So let's hope that's what it's going to happen because everything is now looking alike what it's looking like in the other three pairs, right? GBPUSD is looking like it just broke the point we're meant to use as our entry and we are meant to giving us a retest so we can continue going higher. Same thing on EURUSD. We've already missed the entry and now we are expecting a retest of this point. And now the same thing we are looking at on good again. We've already missed our entry for a buy at the bottom. Price is now, we are now expecting price to give us a retest so that we can continue going to the upside. Maybe if we give it a retest, we might give us a push to the upside to the previous day's high. This is the fair value gap we are looking at on GBPUSD. This is the breakup structure. My mic was not on mute. My mic has been unmuted. I'm just analyzing. I've already done all the analysis. Some of you guys are just joining. I've done the analysis and I know what I am looking for. So I'm just observing the markets. Like I said, on SAUSD, you guys know the reason why we didn't get a trade entry. We were expecting a retest up until this point. Price didn't give us that retest to this point to give us that buy, and price has distributed to the upside. And what price has broken recently is this support that was pushing price down. The price has broken it. Now we are expecting a retest of this point right here to target at least the previous day's high. That's what we're looking at on gold. While on GBPUSD, we just broke this resistance point right now. This swing high right here, we just broke this swing high. And we have a fair value gap right here as we are breaking it. And also, we are waiting for a retest of this fair value gap so that we can be buying to the upside. Because we are waiting for a retest of this point, no, of this resistance right here. When price was here, we're waiting for a retest of this point so we can target that up. But we didn't get that retest. Now, on EURUSD, it's the same thing. We just broke the previous day's high, closed above the previous day's high. And we're waiting for a retest of this point so that we can be buying to the upside. But now there's something I'm bothered about. Especially right now, we've already taken out all the liquidities that we're meant to take out that is meant to push price in the opposite direction. So I'm doubting if we are even meant to be buying anymore. Because we had liquidity above here and liquidity above here and all these points right here. And this huge imbalance right here. These are what are meant to push price to the downside. Price has just distributed to those areas. First liquidity, second liquidity, and this imbalance. So price pushing all the way to this point without giving us any retest for a buy the first time. Does that mean that price is going to give us a reversal pattern to the downside? That's on EURUSD. On gold, the same thing. This liquidity right here that we just got to is what we should even be using as our target if we are taking a buy from this low right here. Now price has pushed all the way to this liquidity to take it out. The only reason why I'm still considering taking a buy on gold is because we still have a fair value gap right here. And also the previous day's high is still right here. So these are what price can trade into. If price can push all the way to this low, give us a buy, and trade up to this point. But then I'm still doubting if price can come up and mitigate all these trends, we might be going to the downside. And now on GBPUSD, we haven't taken out any liquidity yet. But then this liquidity is what we are meant to use as a target if we are taking a buy from this point. And now the target is very, very close to where price is. Like I said, price cannot trigger us in. Okay, for instance, this is what it's looking like. We are meant to target opposite liquidity as our exit point. Now, let's say, for instance, we want to be leaving at this opposite liquidity right here. Price has already gotten there already, right? Price has gotten there already. We cannot wait for price to trigger us in and then go back to where it is coming from as a exit point. No, we're meant to be at least targeting somewhere up. If maybe we had entered it already from the bottom, let's say from this point right here, if price had given us that retest we're looking for, this would have been our exit points. Right, this would have, if maybe price had given us that retest, this would have been our exit point. So if price keeps rejecting this to the downside, it might look like price is now giving us a double top pattern, and we're expecting to be pushing to the downside right here. So there are a lot to consider. That is why I said forex is very, very confusing. There's always going to be a buy and a sell at a particular point in time. Because all of this liquidity right here that I've just been taking out on gold, all this liquidity resting above this high, so I've just been taking out, can act to push price to the downside. And then while we are looking for a buy opportunity from this point right here. So that's why we are just going to end up becoming liquidity because we didn't see that liquidity has already been taken out. So also, I still feel like we are going to be going down right now. My bias is changing gradually because if you check it, we've taken that this trend line has been pushing price up, pushing price up, pushing price up. Now we've taken out that liquidity I was telling you about, all this liquidity resting above this high right here. What effect can that have? That might just push price to break this trend line and then continue going lower. So that's one way to also look at it. That can happen as well. It's already getting late and we didn't end up taking any trades today. And I guess it's because of the type of trader I am. I'm always this trader that waits for this break and retest. And I have gotten a lot of breaks today, but no retest at all. The first break we got was when price broke and closed all the way to this point. This was the 1 hour candle close. This was where the 1 hour candle closed, right after the news. So after this, I was waiting for a retest. We didn't get that retest to this point. Then price distributed. Now we broke this previous day's high again, and also this swing high as well. A retest into this fair value gap or this previous day's high would have been nice. You can see how the previous day's high is just in the middle of the fair value gap. Price has not given us that, and I still pushing to the upside. Like this is happening twice already. On GBPUSD, same thing. A break of this resistance right here. A retest to this point would have given us our entry, and our target would have been right here. And price has already gotten to that target, but then price didn't trigger us in before going there. Now price has broken a swing high right here. It is even on its way to break another swing high, but then a retest into this fair value gap that's going to be this previous high right here. It's not even being observed. So a lot of things is just happening right now. 2 breaks, no retest. On gold, same thing is happening. The first one was a break of I switched to 50, yeah. The first one was after this swing low right here was created, price tried to break it, failed to break, then it swept the liquidity. Price swept this liquidity right here from this swing low. Saw this impulsive move to the upside, and then confirmation that price is going to be going up. Although there was an hesitation with this long wick to the downside, but still I was waiting for a retest of this points from this candle. Price didn't give us that retest to this other block candle, or what should I call it? The candle that swept sell side liquidity. Price didn't give us a retest to this candle. So price distributed to the upside. You can see how price is just ignoring all my entries. All right. So it's not, sometimes I just say I didn't see my entry today. It does not mean that I didn't observe properly, or it's just because I'm trying to follow my plan. All right. Price is meant to give us a retest to this point, but then price distributed to this point right here, to this top right. So price just ignored all my entries on this pairs. So I'm going to call it a day right now, but then I'm still going to be observing. If I see any entry, I'll send it to the signal room.